there was a stage that we were constantly pushing youngsters into further education. University was the thing.
What period was that? That was
Blair period, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
University, we had to send our kids to university and further education, which I think is wrong. Fundamentally wrong. There are some people which are just not academic. I mean, I'm not an academic. At the age of 16, fortunately, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to work, and I wanted to use my hands, and I wanted to learn a craft, a skill. And I genuinely believe that a lot of youngsters at the age of 16 know exactly maybe not exactly, but have a really good idea of what they're good at and what they want to do. And
also, I think, like, some of my mates now, like, I'm 31, like, I think there's a wonderful essay by a guy called Paul Graham, who basically created Y Combinator, which it was based in Soho, actually. But they'd founded loads of these entrepreneurial businesses, so like Airbnb, Y Combinator, Dropbox, all these sort of Silicon Valley, but this big sort of fund. And he's got this essay being like, to find out what you actually want to do in life, and this is his numbers, right? He reckons out of the whole world, which is billions of people, he thinks there's about 500,000 to 600,000 people who, like, not only know, but when he says, like, there's like saying you're passionate about, like, I don't know, rugby, but I'm not going to be a fucking rugby player as much as I'd love to be, right? But to actually be one of those ones who actually know what they want to do and probably have the potential to do it. He says there's about 500,000 people in this essay, and he's got all the numbers to back it up. And so I think, to your point, Michel, of like, these 16-year-olds, if they know what they want to do, we should push them to what they want to do instead of sending them to like like, no offense, but like a substandard university where they're going to get a degree in, I don't know, surfing and tourism. Like, nothing wrong with that, but that's not what they should do. And I think you're so right. If these people have this gift, we have to push them into their calling. But it's not easy as, I think you're right. We do just push people into this,
and then they're in debt.
Yeah.
And they come out with a degree in whatever.
Yeah.
That doesn't guarantee them a job. And that's that's just wrong. I think it's really, really fundamentally wrong. And that's something that I think really must change. We've got to be able to figure out who or what kids are good at. I say kids, but 16. I even think maybe from the age of 14, you can tell whether you're a manual craft person as opposed to an academic. Let's say, just to put it in very, very simple terms. Sure. So why not get these kids, for want of another word, as I said, into some form of vocational training at that age? Carry on their studies, yes, of course, and you can go on to your A-levels, of course, yeah. But also have a vocational part of that to encourage them and help them and nurture them in a skill, in a manual skill that they could then get a job from. And not be in debt to the tune of 30,000, 50,000 pounds by the age of 22, 23, and not a full-time job. So, yeah, apprenticeships are really good. I think that's a start, but we need more help in our industry. I'm talking about hospitality with apprenticeships, financial help from the government and incentives. I know there are some out there, but it's not enough. And I think we need to relook at the curriculum as well, and the way we look after our this next generation, which is key, which is important, and not forgetting as well, we've just come out of COVID, and a lot of youngsters are still suffering from that because they were locked up for 2 years, and learning through a computer screen.
It's mental. It's crazy.
It's just terrible, and I think we forget that very often. That those 2 years of COVID lockdown has caused a lot of damage to this generation, this youngsters.
Espressos is sponsored by supply chain software gurus Unleashed. It talks to your eComm and accounting software. It's helped islands cut admin time in half, get granular clarity on your margins, know where your stock is, Don't miss availability. Brands like Candy Kittens, Tiny Rebel, and Trip all use Unleashed, and so should you.